Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to another episode of How Did You Get Here? I am your host, Lisa Lauture, and I'm just so excited to introduce you all to my next guest. Yay! We have Pat Ray coming to you all to share her story and um, give her jewels of wisdom. And you all will know her as Pat Ray, but I know her as Miss Pat. Okay. I worked with Miss Pat over the past 2 years. I met Miss Pat before that, but as a regional manager or program coordinator, I was able to supervise Miss Pat. I had the pleasure to, and let me tell you, she is a wise woman. She is on her stuff. She knows what she's doing, and she is really good with the parents, the children, and the community. So, welcome, Miss Pat, to the
Thank
show.
you. Thank you for the kind words.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you do with Head Start.
My job title is called Family Partner. It's kind of a social work position, uh, but you wear many hats. You enroll eligible children according to federal guidelines. The family partner keeps the health records on the children that are required by the state of Tennessee. And then we also uh, work with the parents because Head Start doesn't just serve the child, we serve the entire family. We want to leave the family in a better position than we found them because we do serve the lower income families or families with special needs of our community. And we have community partnerships with all kinds of agencies in our community that can help the parents reach their goals. When we enroll a new family, we do orientation with them, which tells them all about the program, all the many facets of the program, how they can benefit from the program, how they can become involved in the program, because we really relish family involvement because we serve the entire family. One of the first things we do after orientation is explain the program. We do a needs assessment. That's just a series of questions if they have any needs in these areas, such as food, clothing, education, English as a second language. Uh, there's probably 30 of those questions. And that's the foundation for starting, at least for me, that's the foundation for starting what we call the family partnership agreement, which is a goal setting with the parents. And like I tell the parents, it's not to assign them homework or anything extra that they're not already doing. It's to for us to become a partner and provide resources so they can reach their goals.
Okay. So um you take care of the family aspect of working with the helping the children get ready for kindergarten.
Yes, that's what it's all about. Head Start's all about school readiness. Uh, and a lot of times that's the goal that they pick because that's an important goal. And
Hmm.
again, that's something that they're already doing and that we can help them be successful at.
Okay. All right. So we know that Head Start is not only a program that helps children, but Head Start also serves to help the parents too. So, how do you approach your parents in order to help them achieve their goals during the time they are in your care?
Well, first of all, you make yourself accessible to them. I have an agency cell phone. They're all when they enroll. They're given the number so they can call whenever they need something. Uh, and it's just making yourself accessible to them, putting yourself in their shoes. Because I was young once and had children. I still have the children. They're just grown now with their own children.
Mm-hmm.
But I tend to see solutions instead of problems.
Mm.
So something that they may think is the end of the world, I help them see that it's not, and that we can work through that.
Hmm. Wow. So you serve as a support, and honestly, just my knowledge with social work, it's the same thing. You attract more flies with honey than with vinegar. So
Hmm.
to you use those tools of making the families feel comfortable by letting them know that you care.
Exactly.
Hmm. So even when Miss Pat has to, tell them something that, address some issues, or maybe something that an area that they're not lacking in, just the fact that they know that you're coming from a good place opens them up a little bit more to
Yeah.
hearing what you have to say.
Yeah. And I always tell them they're like my kids, as I'll tell you when you're messing up.
Hmm.
And they just laugh at me, but they know I'm right, and
Hmm.
I think they respect that. Because I don't do it in a mean, spiteful way. I do it in a loving way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, in general conversation, just behind the scenes, I learned that financial literacy is a passion for you. Do you talk to your parents about that, or tell us a little bit about how you how that drives what you do?
I see bad money decisions causing my family so much misery. They they don't look for the future, they look for now. What can I buy? What can I spend? And maybe every paycheck is already spent before they get it. They don't have that sense of financial security. And it's not about creating wealth, it's about creating peace of mind and security. Like the example I sometimes use is, say they're working, they have a car, they bust a tire on the way home. They can
Hmm.
get a used tire for $50, but they don't have $50 to get their tire fixed. So they can't get the car fixed, and they can't, without the car, they can't go to work. It's a spiral of problems that comes because they don't plan ahead. And I talk to them about saving, putting a little bit back, and some of it sinks in with some of the parents, and some of it doesn't. But as an agency, we have asset building. Like a lot of them have never had a checking account and be responsible for that. We have a handout that we give. It's several pages. And then, of course, we follow that up with any questions that they may have. But money can make you happy, or it can bring misery. The lack of money, just the fact that you can't have the basic necessities. I'm not talking about going out on spending sprees and buying things. I'm just talking about having what you need.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So did you is that something that you learned growing up, or is that something you realized as you became an adult and started implementing?
I was always responsible. I told somebody the other day that I've had a checking account since I was 16 years old
Mm-hmm.
and never had a return check
Mm.
because I could do math. I could write down a check I wrote and keep up with it. But, the bank fees, that's another get you. If you have a return check, I think the little insert of information in my checking account says return check is like $35. And banks, say you have 5 checks out, they will clear the big one and then they will bounce. It's a money making thing for banks. And then they will bounce the 4 small checks. And so they're making $35 times 4 on those checks.
Yeah.
Uh, Dave Ramsey has wonderful information. He has a program called Financial Peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can find most of those books now. It's been out many, many years. It's just small baby steps. Uh, I think you can find most of those books maybe at these bookstores and at Goodwill and things now, because there's probably thousands of them out there now in the used market that you wouldn't have to buy an expensive book. And then the UT Agriculture website,
Mm-hmm.
they have information on asset building.
And what is that
Uh,
website again?
the UT Agricultural Extension Service.
Okay.
I think it's ut.edu.
Okay.
It's on the consumer website.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they have budget plans and worksheets and things that you can do to work through to do what works for you. Because everyone is different. Their needs, their wants, their bills, but you have to live within your means.
Mm-hmm.
And and sometimes that might require someone if they've gotten themselves in over their head, it might require them getting a second job, a part-time job to supplement that income. But hopefully, people that have gotten themselves in that situation will realize how they got in that situation and be able to learn from their mistakes. Because that's how we learn best, from our
Mm-hmm.
mistakes.
Yeah. Wow. So, just kind of a recap of what you've said so far. Number one, you have never bounced a check.
Never,
That is awesome. That
never.
is awesome. And you've always been responsible for money with money.
Yes,
Um, and then that trick of the trick of the bank cashing the biggest check and then bouncing all the other ones
that's correct.
versus the other, like doing it in the order that
Mm-hmm,
you actually made your purchases. um that's something that gets a lot of people. you
mm-hmm.
know it can really put you in a bind, especially when you don't know that that is how you know they do their stuff so that they can make more money off of you think the bank account is free, but they make their money in other ways.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The the fee list that comes, I think they put it out about once a year in your checkings account. It's very lengthy. There's a fee for everything, and I try to avoid all those fees.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, how has financial literacy been beneficial to you in your life?
Oh, many, many ways. If you have some money put back, you can tenfold it. Say you go to Kroger, and one day I was at Kroger, and in their bargain buggy, they had a lot of Tide. One had broken and leaked on all the others and made them messy. They were like $3 or $4 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had money put back, I was able to buy all of them, 10 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been devastated if I'd been there and saw all that Tide for that cheap price and been unable to buy it because I'd gone to the movies or bought earrings or had me a tattoo or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't done those things. I had money put back. So if you have that savings, you have so much flexibility. When something's on sale, groceries, you can buy extra.
Mm-hmm.
When you see something that your family needs, new curtains or a new bedspread, and it's on sale, you have the ability to buy it then instead of having to wait until your paycheck comes and then, it's not on sale anymore or the
Mm-hmm.
color or size that you needed is sold. So money gives you freedom and peace of mind that you have the ability to do what you choose
Mm-hmm.
to do.
Wow. So, just just looking at it from that perspective, and I've done that before. I've done that many times. Just made sure I had some money set aside so that if the right sale or if something comes up, I can go ahead and have the money to take care of that. But I
Mm-hmm.
never thought about the fact that saving is not just for emergencies. It's for to give you a leg up when there are opportunities to kind of get ahead, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in stockpiling or whatever it is, whatever your needs are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good way of thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So I'm sorry.
I was just going to say it's worked well for me because
Hmm.
I am, a bargain shopper. I
Hmm.
want what I need, but I want it, for as cheap a price as I can get.
Yeah.
So wait for the sale.
Yep. Wait for the sale. I like it. I like it. Um, So, what would you say to someone who is in the same position as some of the parents that you serve, as far as just in general, where they are in life and wanting to do better, but just not in that better place?
They need to assess their situation and find out what is working, because I'm sure they're doing a lot of right. Find out what's working and what's not working. And if they're continuously making bad decisions on anything from money to job opportunities, or maybe just not feeling like going to work, and maybe losing their job, but they need to find out what's working good and what's working not for them, and set a plan, set a goal. And it's not going to happen overnight. It may take 3 years, it may take 2 years, it may take 6 months, but they'll get there if they're consistent and talk to their friends that's maybe a little older, a little wiser, to find out, their parents or whoever, to find out, how did you get here and what struggles did you have. And so hopefully they'll have a vision for the future.
Hmm. Okay. That's some really good information. That's some really good advice. And I know specifically for me in my situation, me and my family have been working on financial literacy for a little while now. And you're right, it did take a little bit of time. It wasn't something that came automatic. We have bounced a couple of checks ourselves and learned the hard way about how banks do things.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I realized is that if we learn financial literacy, then we can pass on that information and that wisdom to our children as well.
Yes, because the children learn by seeing the role model, the adults in their life, and of course sometimes they see that their mom struggled all the time, and when they get grown up, they actually learn from mom's mistakes that
Hmm.
mom did. So uh, anything you can do to better yourself, you just have to make that decision to do it. Maybe, you know, I guess I'll pick on this because I'm not a coffee drinker. I know
Hmm.
Starbucks. I don't like coffee. I know the daily cup of coffee is, it could be $5 a day, and figure out what that is in a month. Put that in savings. And maybe don't deprive yourself. Have that cup of coffee once a week or whenever, if that's what you truly enjoy, because life does need to have joy in it.
Hmm.
So, don't deprive yourself, but set a goal and take baby steps until you get there.
Okay. All right. That's some good stuff. That's good stuff.
Thank you, Lisa.
Do you have any more information or any more words of wisdom to share with us today?
No, I don't think so. Just figure out what they want in life. I know when I was young, you said, "Where are you going to be next year?" I think, no, I don't know. It is hard. It is hard to set a goal when you're younger because you're figuring life out. And but it is beneficial to set a goal, have a plan, and not be blinded by material things. Because one of the favorite things I tell the parents at Christmas, because they get kind of bent because maybe they can't buy everything the child wants. Toys get broken and clothes get outgrown, but memories last. So I encourage the parents to try to make memories with their children instead of buying them so many things
Hmm.
broken and thrown away.
Okay. So there's many other ways to bring joy and enrichment and fulfillment to your life other than just buying things.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And you're right about that. I have stressed over some toys, getting toys for my kids, and I get them for Christmas, and by January, some of them are broken.
Yeah, and like I tell the adults, unless you got something magnificent last Christmas, if I went around and asked a room full of adults, what did you get for Christmas? Most of them can't tell you
Mm.
what they got. They don't remember. It's gone. But if I asked them what special memory did you do, they can tell you something that's 5 years ago that was special to them. But maybe they can't tell you the gift, but they can tell you the memory.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Miss Pat,
Well,
for
thank you for having me, Lisa.
yes. It has been truly a pleasure. I want everyone to know that wherever you are, you can grow from there. And just like Miss Pat said, you see where you are, you be honest with yourself and where you are now, set you a goal, and then work slowly toward that goal, slowly toward meeting that goal, because change don't happen overnight, but it can be um, long lasting if you work at it and make it a habit. Okay. So, thank you all. My name is Lisa Lauture. I am the lady with the lipstick and the model with the message. And as always, my message to you all is be amazing wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you.